Now pleased to be joined on the call by the head coach at Campbell, Braxton Harris. Good morning, Braxton.
Morning, Rob.
Good morning. Certainly a tough one for your team to take. 28-24 loss at North Carolina A&T, a game that you guys were in control a lot of the day. Just give me your impressions on what happened.
Yeah, A&T did a great job. They're building a solid program where their kids are playing hard for 4 quarters. That was easily to see on the film. I mean, you looked how they played William and Mary. They played a lot of teams really tough all the way to the end. You look how they came back against Hampton earlier in the year. We already watched that film on those guys to get their first win, and so we didn't expect anything else. At the end of the day, it came down to special teams in the fourth quarter. They made 2 plays. A kickoff return and a punt return for a touchdown, and that was the difference in the ball game. You take those 2 things away, we win the ball game. Credit to them; they made those plays, and that's why they won.
When you've gone back and looked at the plays, was it just two really good, outstanding individual efforts by Kennedy, or were there some things that you feel like you guys missed on?
Yeah, we want to take great pride in our cover units here at Campbell, and so anytime you give up something, we feel like we could have been in better positions to be able to make some of those plays. We've got to go back and be able to work on some of our technique to be able to make some of those plays. It's not necessarily a lack of want to, but we've got to understand how we fit in, how they're attacking us, and then being able to get guys in the best position to make those possible plays. And so definitely disappointing. We feel like cover units is something, the sign of a good football team, and we got to get better at those things.
Defensively, your team was awful good. You hold A&T to 7 points through 3 quarters, and then they had the one drive in the fourth quarter, but that was about it. Talk about what you guys were able to do so well to kind of keep them in check most of the day.
Yeah, I thought Coach Daniels and his staff did a really good job of having our guys ready to play. That first drive, I mean, that was, again, a return. They got the ball at the 50 and had a couple penalties that put them in position to be able to go score. Felt like those guys ran to the ball really well. Felt like we got good pressure on the quarterback. Felt like we contended a lot of passes on the back end. And anytime you can be able to stop the run, that makes teams one-dimensional. That bodes in our favor as a defense right there. I thought those guys did a really good job. Really proud of how they've gotten better every single week. You look from the first year to now, it's unequivocally those guys have gotten better. And so credit to that staff on getting those guys ready to go.
9 more tackles for Logan Liverman. It seems to be at the top of your tackle chart every week. Just talk about the season that he's been able to put together for you.
Yeah, Logan, great kid. Does everything right on and off the field. He's somebody everybody wants on their team, that kind of guy. And Logan does a great job of that, and he works his tail off. It's really important to him. He's the kind of guy that you want to build a program and that we are building a program with, and we're thankful for that we have guys like Logan Livermore, JoJo Pace, those kind of guys on that defensive side that have just done everything we've asked them to do. And what they're really working on now is, man, they're trying to leave next year's team something that they weren't given, an opportunity to build and grow. And we get 3 more weeks to be able to go do those things.
Offensively, certainly good to have your quarterback, Camden Six-Killer, back, 255 yards and a couple of touchdowns, and have Randall King back. But let's start with Cam. Just talk about the day that he was able to have for you. It didn't look like there was much rust there.
Yeah, he did a good job, and Cam's just going to continue to get better. Cam fought like heck to play last week in the ball game, and that just shows you the kind of competitor he is, the mentality he has. That's why he's our guy at quarterback, right? Because he has that mentality, and you got to have that mentality to play that position, and he definitely has that. With him back there, we're able to attack a little bit differently than without him back there. It obviously opens up Mike in some of the throwing game and being able to get him the ball. And then also just the Mike's influence in the ball game. You motion Mike, and you're going to get a lot of coverage over to him, which allows other people to make those plays.
And then it had to be nice to see number 0 back on the field, 10 catches, 71 yards. He and Aaron Harris from A&T were lock-in battles all day long. Just talk about what he's able to bring to your offense when he's out there.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, right? And he's the guy when the lights turn on, he's going to answer the call every time. Ever since I've been around him, and so to have that kind of weapon back in the fold is something that we were excited about. We are excited about, and we're going to continue to push forward. And a credit to him to be able to do that. Credit to our team to be able to continue to do those things.
The one thing that didn't go as well was your running game that's been so good for you all year long. What was A&T able to do to kind of control the running attack?
Yeah, I thought their defensive front was really physical up front. I thought they were really physical. I thought they won some of their one-on-one matchups. I thought they crowded the box in some spots to be able to take away the run. And at the end of the day, they muddied it up for our running backs. Didn't have the lanes to be able to hit things downhill. And anytime you can make something go sideways, you got a chance. But man, I thought the physicality in which their defensive line and linebackers played, I thought they played a really good football game, and disappointed that we weren't able to rise to that challenge.
You finally get a bye week coming up, which we kind of talked about it, I think, a week ago. You guys have had a long stretch against a tough schedule. How much do you need this bye week?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good for us in the spot. We get to heal up and get healthy. We've had some nagging injuries that guys have really sucked it up and played through, which you respect out of those guys. But they haven't been 100%. And so to be able to get them some rest this week, to be able to come back in 3 weeks and be able to finish, that's huge for our program, right? November is huge. We got a 3-game stretch right here that we need to push this program forward and continue to move forward as we develop and grow our program. And these next 3 weeks are vital to that. The exciting thing for us is we could get our team back to be able to play with a full deck of cards, which we hadn't had that deck of cards in probably a month and a half, 2 months, to be honest, in those spots. And so, man, we need that bye to be able to get physically, mentally, and spiritually rested. Been a long 10 weeks in this spot, and we've had some ups and we've had some downs. And that takes a toll on everybody in that spot. So this timing has really been good for us. I'm excited to see how our team can come and respond from this bye week, and get to work next week against a really good William and Mary team.
And how, as you said, there have been certainly been some highs, but you've, including last Saturday, have had some really kind of heartbreaking losses in there as well. As you and your coaching staff attack these next 3 weeks, what is kind of going to be the message to try to get some momentum back and finish strong?
Yeah, I mean, you look at where we're at. I mean, we've lost 4 games by 1 score. The New Hampshire game was a 1-score game, except at the end, in that spot. And so you're right there on the cusp of things, right? If you win 2 out of those, we're having a totally different conversation today. And so the reality is we're really close. And Rob, when you're building a program, everybody wants it to go the way they want it to go. You got to hit this, this, and this. And the reality is we're really, really close. We have great opportunities in front of us to be able to push it over. The hard part is when you're really, really close, you don't know how much farther you got to go, right? Most times it's right on the other side of hard, right? Everything you want's on the other side of hard. And our guys have got to choose to be able to push through the hard, to be able to get to the other side of that thing. And we think that's what these 3 weeks are. We get an opportunity to push through the hard, push through the things that aren't fun, to be able to get this program, not just as team, but this program where we want it to be, a competitive team in the CAA. We got here, we said we want to be competitive in the CAA. I think we are competitive. You look at what we've done each and every week. I think we're a competitive team in the CAA. Now, at the end of the day, we got to win. We got to find a way to get over that hump and be able to win. And the only way to do that is continuing to work hard. We're not going to change. We're not going to flinch. We're going to keep doing what we believe in, because you see the results every single week in different aspects of it. Unfortunately, we hadn't been able to get it all to come together. But when it does, man, I'm excited about what this team and this program is going to be able to go do.
All right, Braxton, thanks as always for your time here today. Enjoy that bye week, and look forward to talking again next Monday.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Again, for media members on the line, if you have questions for any of our coaches here this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. We're now